Well, I finally did it. Finally retired. Wasn't sure how long it was going to take for me to get to this point, but we did it, my wife and I. And after 47 years of working for the man, so to speak, now I am available to pursue other interests. And you know how that is, where you get so many different projects that you would like to do, but boy, I tell you, life gets in the way, and that could still happen in retirement, I know, but this way I'm going to have a lot more time to do those things that I've been waiting to do. And the problem is I think I may have too many projects. Boy, it just seems like the house projects have sure been piling up and all that. But I have some other fun projects that I want to do, and you know, I'll talk about those in some future videos and that sort of thing. But right now, this is just kind of my introduction to this channel. I have another YouTube channel where I review fountain pens, but this one is going to be about having a journey mindset. And I think that's real important as we embark, not just in retirement, but just life in general, to look at life as a journey, not as a burden, but as a journey. Now, I know that sometimes we hit some rough spots and so forth. I'm going to talk about that in another video coming up, you know, just navigating life in general and so forth. But for right now, I want to talk about retirement and how we got there to retirement. How do we prepare for this? And you know that retirement comes on you quickly. And this isn't just a video for young people or old people. I think I hope it's applicable to many people, so to be a help just of what I've learned in life. And so number one, I got my little cliff notes here. Let's see, am I excited? Yes, I'm excited, but I'm both cautiously optimistic and cautiously curious, because I've never done retirement before. I've had times away from work. I was laid off once, and then just in between jobs when we moved to where we're currently living. We moved 3.5 years ago. It was about a month before I actually got started in a job. I was earlier than that, probably a couple weeks, 3 weeks earlier than that. I was in the process, the hiring process, but it took a little bit. So anyway, yeah, I've never been here before. So, you know, it's kind of, I'm used to working. I'm used to working to earn my income, and now I'm going to be living off my savings and eventually start my Social Security. So another point is our savings aren't a ton. One of the things that the types of channels I like to listen to on YouTube deal with finances and retirement planning and all of that. Last 5 years or so, I've probably done a lot of that type of viewing. But one of the things that was always discouraging to me was the fact that it seemed like they always focused on people with, you know, $1 million in retirement, or hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in their 401ks and so forth. And boy, that just wasn't my wife and I. And so we really don't have a ton, but we have enough, and we have plenty for our lifestyle. All right, so I'm going to go through 4 different aspects of retirement preparation. And these are not exclusive. There's many other aspects, things to think about, ways to plan. And I would appreciate if you would, in the comments below, put in your 2 cents worth as far as preparation. So, and some of these are going to be kind of no-brainers. But so don't turn me off. Say, this guy, what does he have to contribute? So the first way we prepared for retirement was we worked. Again, that should go without saying, but you know, it's just an important aspect of preparing for retirement. I mean, you work and you save based, you know, from that which you earned while you're working to get to retirement. Now I'm gonna do another separate video on all these, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time because I do have a lot to say about the work aspect of retirement or just life in general. So stay tuned. And then we, because we worked, we also saved. And again, that may sound self-explanatory, but working is a little more obvious. Saving is not. And unfortunately, too many people have gotten to the point, and unfortunately, too many people put off saving because, especially in the early years, because, you know, life gets in the way. There's always something more necessary or desired. And it's cold out here, so if I start getting tears down my cheeks, I'm not getting emotional, it's just cold. But it's important to save. Now, if you've gotten to kind of your later years in life, let's say you're in your 50s even, start getting up into your 60s, if you don't have anything in savings, just gonna have Social Security, well, you can still do it, but you're gonna have to get creative, and you're gonna have to do some downsizing or whatnot. But anyway, it's important to save, and the earlier you start saving, here's what I told my kids. I said, nobody likes to save because there's always something you can use your money for that will bring you joy in the moment. But in the long run, it may not really help you. So I would tell them, look, if you start early, then you really don't have to save as much out of each paycheck. You just put a little bit at a time, that compounded interest, especially in a like a money market to begin with. And once you get enough, get a financial advisor, start getting a diversified portfolio and all of that. My wife and I really didn't. She had some when we got married. We've been married 27 years. Got married later in life. Both of us were single, had never been married before. I was almost 37, and my wife was 29. She had a little bit in the money market, and I mean a little bit. And then I had some at the time. I'd been working for the post office a couple of years. So we're talking early 30s, and I had some in a 401k, but not much. Hadn't accumulated that much. I only, like I said, only had a couple years in. So, but at some point, then my wife got a job at this marketing firm, and she was able to. They didn't have a 401k, but close to, I think, her last year there. She had worked there 3 years, so another year, her fourth year, they gave all the employees a big lump, And I encouraged them to go down to this one particular financial place. In other words, this is where they were putting some retirement money away for their employees. And so that helped. And so what I did was I rolled over what I had from the post office and turn this around over here, and then started saving that way. So the whole idea is to start saving at some point. The third aspect about retirement was avoiding debt. Now, avoiding debt is it's not easy, but it is possible, and it is something that we all should shoot for. Now, when we got married, I had a car that still had some a balance on it, car loan. So we worked to get that paid off, and then we pretty much stayed out of debt for the rest of our life up till now. And then our only debt is our mortgage. We bought used cars. We lived within our means. We did have a credit card or two, but we got those paid off at the end of the month. And so those credit cards actually, especially one, actually has been paying us over the years, which is a pretty nice deal. So stay out of debt. So you got to work, you got to save, you got to stay out of debt, and then you might have to move. Depending on how you've prepared and all that. But for us, we had to move, and there was no way. We were living in California at the time, and we didn't own a house. We were living in it was a parsonage of the church I was pastoring, and so we had no equity. So as I was looking at that retirement phase of life and thinking about how to prepare for it, I knew that we were going to have to move. So I started researching. Now, there were aspects about where we lived that I loved, and there were aspects that I was really weary of. And so I started doing some research and ended up, my in-laws live in northern Arkansas, and so I was already planning on kind of moving back to Tennessee. That's where I lived a portion of my early childhood, and so that's kind of where I figured I would end up. And so you may have to move. If you live in a higher cost of living state, you may have to move to, and you don't want to leave the state, you may have to move to an area in the state that's a lower cost of living, outside the metro areas and so forth. But moving is an aspect sometimes of preparation, or getting into your retirement. So to kind of wind this up, I mean, I'm a little bit not nervous. I'm just kind of curious. I am excited though. I am excited to start this part of my journey. And really, you have to have a journey mindset when it comes to life. Otherwise, you just get bogged down in the moment, and the challenges that you're facing today, they become your whole focus, and boy, that can wear on you. So just have that journey mindset. This channel is going to deal more with just retirement, but those are some areas that I'm dealing with now in my journey, so I want to share them with you. Thanks a lot, and enjoy the journey.